I've been thinking about visiting more African countries. I really, really want to go to Kenya. It's in like my to-go list, and I've been thinking of maybe going there this year during the summer. What's wrong? Can you cough?
A few years ago, my friend came to visit me. We were sitting at home, we were just chatting it up, catching up on everything that had been going on in our lives. I remember that I was eating something, and all of a sudden, I just felt something catch in my chest and I started choking. I was literally gasping for breath. I couldn't breathe. I thought it was over. I thought for sure this is a day that I'm gonna die. My friend watched me. She watched with horror in her face, but she didn't do anything. I kept gasping for breath, and I really thought that I wasn't going to make it. Thankfully, I was able to cough out that little piece of food that had gotten stuck in my airways, and I was able to breathe normally again. After that incident, I just stared at my friend in shock. Like, why didn't you do anything? You saw that I was choking, that I was almost dying, and you really didn't do anything. But now that I look back at it, I think she didn't do anything because she just didn't know what to do. We've all been in this situation at least once in our life where we've seen somebody choking. And sometimes it can be very scary because of how many things can go wrong in just that short period of time. But don't worry, that's why we're here. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Toluwani Rakoskafale and welcome to Medication Africa, basic medical education and life-saving tips for Africans by Africans. Today we're going to talk about a potentially life-threatening situation, choking. We're going to explain who's at risk and what to do if you see somebody choking, including back blows and the Heimlich maneuver. Choking occurs when a person's airways gets blocked by a piece of food or another object. This can lead to problems breathing, or even worse, it can cause a complete blockage, which can be life-threatening. If the airway is completely blocked, it means that oxygen can't reach the blood. Without oxygen, the brain and other organs in the body can get damaged very quickly. This can lead to death in just a few minutes. Aspiration is another risk associated with choking. Aspiration is when food or liquid goes into the airways and the lungs instead of into the stomach and the digestive system. Aspiration can cause pneumonia or other serious issues that can be life-threatening. Certain groups of people are at a higher risk of choking. This includes very young children, elderly people, people who are very drunk, or people who have medical conditions that affect swallowing or increase the risk of aspiration. The first thing you do when you see somebody who's choking is to determine whether they can speak, cough, or cry. If the person can speak, cough, or even cry, it means that it is probably just a partial blockage. So encourage the person to keep coughing until the object is
I think
dislodged.
maybe. What's wrong? Can you cough? Can you cough?
If the person cannot speak, cough, or cry, it means that it is a complete blockage and you need to act immediately. The first step is to give the person 5 back blows with the heel of your hand between their shoulder blades. So take the heel of your hand, put it between their shoulder blades, and give them 5 strong and powerful back blows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Giving strong back blows can dislodge the object. If the object was not dislodged, you need to perform the Heimlich maneuver, also known as abdominal thrusts. Here's how to perform the Heimlich maneuver. Stand behind the person and wrap your arms around their waist. Make a partial fist with one hand and place it just above the belly button but below the rib cage. Grasp your fist with your other hand like this, and then press inward and upward with quick and powerful thrusts. Repeat until the object becomes dislodged or the person is able to breathe again normally. If at any time during this process the person becomes unconscious, you need to call emergency services and begin CPR immediately. CPR can increase the pressure in the lungs, which can help dislodge the object. It is important to note that you should only perform back blows and the Heimlich maneuver in people who are choking and cannot speak, cough, or cry. Do not perform back blows or the Heimlich maneuver in people who are able to speak or cough. This is because they just have a partial obstruction. And by doing these techniques on them, you can actually move the object further down and transform the partial obstruction into a complete obstruction. Also, doing these maneuvers in these people can cause injuries. To summarize, if you see somebody choking, the first thing to do is to determine if the person is able to cough or speak. If they are able to cough or speak, they probably just have a partial blockage. And what you would do is you would just encourage them to keep coughing until the object becomes dislodged. If the person is not able to cough or speak, then you need to act immediately. First, give them 5 strong, powerful back blows with the heel of your hand in between their shoulder blades. If that doesn't work, perform abdominal thrusts in them. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and I hope you've learned what to do in the situation where you find yourself with someone who is choking. Join us again on Medication Africa.